Well, clearly, this is an ongoing investigation. They have a lot of pieces to put together here. Let's go to Josh Letterman, who's on the scene there in Monterey Park for us. Josh, what more have you learned from this? And are there any indications that the victims may have been targeted or that this was a hate crime? I'm going to be honest. I was making my way from my office here into the studio for about 2 minutes, missed part of that news conference. Was anything said about that as being a possible motive or suspicion?
Yeah, a lot of developments in short succession here, Alex. We also learned in that news conference from law enforcement authorities a little bit more about the identities of the 10 people who did pass away and were pronounced dead on the scene. 5 of them were male, 5 of them female, according to law enforcement here. But the most important piece of information to come out of this most recent update from authorities is that preliminary description of the suspect, with the LA County Sheriff saying that that preliminary information is that it is an Asian male. And that obviously is starting to address some of the questions that have come up in the initial hours of this investigation about whether this was a hate crime, given that 2 out of 3 people who live here in Monterey Park are Asian American. Now, the fact that this suspect is believed to be an Asian male, of course, does not rule out the possibility that this still could have been a hate crime, but it does seem to speak to some of the initial fears of potentially an outsider coming into this community and targeting the Asian American community. But there is a lot more of investigators are still trying to find out, including about that second incident a couple miles from here, where they believe that someone had a gun. It was wrestled away from them. There's also a white cargo van associated with that incident in Alhambra that authorities say is of interest to them. But authorities fully acknowledging at this point they cannot say whether or not that was connected to the incident that took place here in Monterey Park. And I want you to hear from one witness who was near the scene last night about what they saw and heard. Take a listen.
I did hear some sounds going off, and I was like, fireworks? And then I knew for a fact it was not fireworks when I heard the helicopter up above, because we never get helicopters around here. It's very surprising, shocking to hear that something like this went on in not only a small city, but my city, that you never think it would happen to your town or something like that.
And just to give you a sense, Alex, of what this community is like, behind me, you can see the main thoroughfare here in Monterey Park that runs perpendicular to that Citibank, which is approximately where the ballroom where this incident took place. This is the main drag here in Monterey Park, where just yesterday people were celebrating, according to local authorities, perhaps about 100,000 people celebrating the eve of the Lunar New Year. Authorities downplaying the possibility that this was connected to that. They say they don't have any indication of that yet, but they have canceled the second day of Lunar New Year celebrations today as this period of celebration turns into tragedy in Monterey Park.